Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another tapped out video. Now this tapped out video is actually my top 10 worst levels. Right, I've had a lot of problems with this video, and I know it's been delayed. I do apologise very much, but it's out now, so just forgive me. I'm also gonna have in 2 or 3 days, probably, or maybe even tomorrow, I will have my top 10. Worst the top no not top 10. I'm gonna have my Halloween predictions. That's what I was gonna do. God, I can't even think. Yeah, I'm gonna have my Halloween predictions. So we're gonna jump into not really jump in because it's taken me 40 seconds, but we're gonna jump into our top 10 worst levels. So let's go. So these are the worst levels, which the levels that stand out as really bad, or they didn't have enough content, or they were overpriced, or that kind of stuff. So number 10 is level 36. Now, level 36 is basically the level where they added Jimbo and Dolph. And they also added the Noiseland Video Arcade and the Museum of Natural History, and they added the stolen bumper car as a decoration. Now, you may be thinking, why is it a bad level? Now, first of all, Dolph and the Noiseland Arcade are the only non-premium items. The premium, and then Jimbo is like something. So many donuts, and then the natural museum the museum is another 100 donuts. The fact that they're two separate things. Usually they're like I think an average level is usually one character, one building, and then one premium character and one premium building. But the premium character and the premium building are they're together. They're the same. When you buy them, that's both of them. But on this one, they decided to split it up. And also, the stolen bumper car is a really poor choice as a decoration, and it was the only one they added. So I'm not really happy with that. So number 9 is level 41. So level 41 for me. Now, people like Chester Dudbury. This is the Chester Dudbury and the Bernice Hibbert update when they added the jewelry store. Okay, yes, it's nice. I get it. It's very bland. It's nice, but it's a very bland building. I don't particularly like these kind of buildings where they're like the same shape as the Android comics, and they're not very exciting. I'm not a fan of them just because they look really ugly and really boring. It did add, to be fair, it added the Bloodmobile and it added the Duff Party lineup, but the reason I don't like it the most is the fact that Chester Dudbury never even turns up in the episode that he was originally meant to turn up in, because the episode got pulled back. Now, some people like it because it's an exclusive character to Tapped Out, but the whole point of Tapped Out is, it annoys me a bit in my mind, because the whole point of Tapped Out is Springfield explodes, oh no, it's exploded, and then suddenly, you get to rebuild the characters, and you basically, I see it as you're picking up rubble and rebuilding it, and then suddenly, oh, there's Marge, oh, there's, Agnes, oh no, there's Skinner, he's there, that's where he was, in the rubble of the thing, and that's how I see it as, but Chester Dudbury doesn't really fit in, but, he is cool, I guess. I just, I'm not, and the unfinished shed for me is a bit ugly. And I didn't land 150 donuts for the shed and a character who hasn't even turned up in the show. Yeah, and I know he was originally meant to turn up in the show and the episode got pulled, but still, a bit like Kamikyo, but whatever. So number 8 is level 51. So level 51 added both Martin Monroe and Frank Grimes. Now, the reason I have put this on my list, first of all, the Monroe Family Therapy Center. I like it. I do like how the fact that they've taken a building that didn't really turn up, and they've actually made it into a proper building. The reason I'm not a fan of it, first of all, is 1,200,000. I know we're that late in the level, but that's a bit pricey, even for cash. The walk-in therapy stand is just really ugly. I mean, the Martin Monroe tombstone, I guess, is kind of cool, but 40 donuts, they could have made that cash, to be honest, because there's not many decorations. And the Forgotten Grave, which is Frank Grimes' grave. 160 donuts for a grave and a character. I don't think that. I think that's way overpriced, personally. But I did like how they added Frank Grimes, at least. But still, 160 donuts, I think it's overpriced. The Martin Monroe's tombstone should have been cash, and They could have always knocked the price down for the family centre. Yeah, I don't want to apologise, guys, because this is pretty hard, this list, by the way, just because some of the levels are good, but then they're also bad in some way. So the next level is number 7, so this is level 50. Ooh, level 50. Let me just quickly go on. Right, so level 50 was the level where they added Helen Lovejoy and Jessica Lovejoy. Now, they added the Helen Lovejoy with the House of Pancakes building. The reason I don't like it is, first of all, the Pancakes building. It appeared in one episode of Tapped Out, right? I mean, appeared in one episode of The Simpsons, and we don't even see Helen in it. We see Wiggum in it. You know, we see Chief Wiggum in it. We don't see Helen in it. So it doesn't make sense for a starter. Why? And it doesn't even relate. Like, I know I didn't really read the dialogue, but I don't see why she's there. Like, at least with some other buildings, they can make it look like Gino with the knife, the wonderful knife. It makes a bit of sense, seeing as he carries a lot of knives, I guess, but whatever. And the Lovejoy residence, 180 donuts, and you get Jessica Lovejoy, 180. They should have made the Lovejoy residence the main building, not this stupid Pancakes building, because the Lovejoy building's now cash. I mean, it's now donuts and not cash, and it's a neighbourhood house. I think neighbourhood houses should be cash for non-premium players, so they can actually, place their the non-premium build, the make a neighbourhood at least, because they can't complete the neighbourhood without the Lovejoy residence. I know that, well, they can, but and then also Shorties for 60 donuts. They didn't need to add another donut building, they really didn't. And then the It Blows friend prize is a pretty poor friend prize, to be honest with you. It's just one of those generic, horrible looking buildings. And then the book burning mobile, I guess that was kind of cool. The murder puss for 30 donuts, it doesn't really do much. And I guess the Marge's car is pretty cool. That was pretty cool to have as a friend prize, but yeah, not entirely very happy with this update. So number 6 is, and I'm just going to quickly check if it's still recording, because I don't want to have, I want to do this in one take. It is recording. Level 55 is number 6 is level 55. So basically this added Declan, Desmond and her pal. It's quite a recent update. Now, the reason I don't like it is, well, I like the fact they added Declan. I love that, because Declan's a small character I never thought they would actually add, but they did. The Worcesterfield Hotel makes a lot of sense, because he is a guest in Springfield, and it makes sense that he would be in a hotel. The Herb. Now, the reason I don't like it is the fact that Herb Motors and Herb the Power Mansion is the premium thing. Declan should have been the premium one, and Herb should have been the non-premium one, because they had this hype for Herb. He was in the files, and they already added the Homer into the game for 82 donuts. And they had this bit, they had a little hype for it, and then they just made him premium. And it really pissed me off, the fact they made him premium, because all premium players can't get Herb. So they if they made Declan the premium, because that makes sense, he's this interviewer who goes around Springfield, he should be premium. But the thing is, they made Herb, and they added Power Motors and the Power Mansion. The Power Motors is way undersized for me. I think it should have been way bigger. The Power Mansion, again, I'm not bothered about the size, but 120 donuts really. And then they added the trike, the time travel trike. I guess that was kind of cool. 100,000, I can't really complain, but again, 100,000 is pretty pricey. And the Angel Fossil, it's coolish. And then they had the Homer come in again for 82 donuts. So all the power stuff was donuts, and I think it was overpriced as well. So yeah, so the next level is number 5, which is level 29. So level 29. Now, the reason I've put this is, the sole reason is it only added one character. It added Agnes and the Skinner House, and that was the only character it added. And then it also added the open air stage, which I suppose was a pretty cool add, and the Sprawl Mart for 90 donuts. Well, honestly, 90 donuts, I think that's pretty decent, but and they also added the park entrance and the cobblestone walls, which they were coolish, but yeah, the fact they only added one character is the thing that put me off this level. Yeah, there's nothing really else to say. So there are some earlier levels that don't They don't do it for me. And the fact is, they were so early in the game, they could have added so much more things with it. Okay, so number 4. Sorry, I didn't really have anything else to say. Number 4 is level. Number 4 is level 31. Right. This is the Wolf Castle level. Now, again, the reason I don't like this one is for a similar reason. Is the fact is they only technically added one character, and they added the McBain costume. Now I don't like it because, you know, Wolf Castle and McBain, it's not like they look very different. They could have just had, you know, the movie set task in Wolf Castle's thing. But I guess McBain is a big character in The Simpsons. He's a character within the characters of The Simpsons. So I guess it's kind of cool to add a different costume for him. So I'm not that bothered. But it's the fact they made it one level just based on Wolf Castle and no other characters. They could have added Greta here. It would have been perfect to add her as well. Obviously with the school. And that one made total sense. 120 donuts isn't all round that bad with the film set and McBain. But still. And the all-night gym, that was cool to add. But the decorations were a bit crappy with the carved ice sculpture, which was really shit. And the radioactive man billboard, I mean, it was kind of cool, but 30 donuts, still donuts, isn't it? So it's a bit annoying to have, so many premium things in it. Well, it's not that many, but, still. Anyway, moving on. Level 3, so we're getting into our not level 3, number 3, we're getting into our top 3 now, sorry. So number 3 is level 53. Now this is the level that added Mrs. Quimby, Stacy Lavelle, it's added Tiffany's, the Malleable Stacy headquarters, the Stacy Dream House, the sculpture thing, the shoe sculpture, the Lisa Lionheart display, and the pool. Right. So, the reason I didn't like this is, it was basically a Malleable Stacy update. First of all, the characters didn't relate. I'm not I'm that bothered, but sometimes it annoys me when it was two completely different characters. And especially when the character, Mrs. Quimby, okay, I thought Mrs. Quimby should have been the premium. It would have made way more sense to make her the premium, seeing as she was Quimby's wife, I guess. I don't know. I just think they're two characters that really shouldn't have gone together. They just really shouldn't have gone together. Because Stacy Lavelle, she shouldn't have been premium, because all the Stacy stuff, Malleable Stacy is a big thing within the Simpsons universe. It's, there's basically the Barbie, it's Barbie, isn't it, really? And it's a big thing with Lisa, it's a big thing with Smithers, it's a big thing, with all the other girls in Springfield. They should have made that the non-premium. Also, Malleable Stacy headquarters with Stacy Lavelle, 165 donuts, and the Stacy Dreamhouse is another 55. The shoe thing is another 40, and the Lisa Lionheart is another 50. All the Stacy stuff is premium, all of it. Like, there's not one thing that's not premium. I guess the pool, but it's not really Malleable Stacy, is it? And it just annoys me. It really does, because this Malleable Stacy should have definitely been the main quest line and the main, the non-premium. So yeah, moving on. Number 2. So we're getting into the top 2 now. Number 2 is actually a really early level. It's level 26. Now this level actually added only Ralph and the Wiggum House. Ralph was the only character with the Wiggum House and El Chemistry it was all cash. Now none of it was obviously we also had the brick tether ball for 20 donuts, and the police car for 40 donuts, and then the rabbit hedge, which was pretty bad for cash, and the swing for cash. Again, the reason I don't like this level is it would have been perfect to add Ralph and his mother in this level, and then Sarah Wigger would have been added ages ago, and we wouldn't have had to bother with her later on and thinking about buildings. But no, they decided to add Ralph on his own with his house, and it was just bad. They can't, especially this early, level 26, right? That is close to level 20, that's really close to the start. It's still the start of the game, so they should have definitely added another character, and it just annoys me that they didn't. I mean, there's not really much more to say. I mean, it's not like it was overpriced. It's just that it really annoyed me how they didn't add any other characters without this early on. So we're going on to our top number 1 now. So can we have that drum roll? So number 1 is level 56. A really recent level, but this is the one that added Lance Murdoch, Daredevil Bar, the Convention Centre, Bloodbath and Beyond, the Danger Pool, the Springfield Gorge, the Stunt Bike, and the Truckosaurus, which returned. Right, now, the reason I don't like this, first of all, Lance Murdoch, cool character, really good character. Glad they added him. What did they add him with, though? Could have added him with the Springfield Speedway. Would have been perfect. But what did they add him with? A shitty little danger pool that doesn't even look that dangerous. Like, it's awful. What is it? It's so bad. They could have made, like, that episode where he jumps over, like, all the crocodiles and stuff. They could have made, like, a really big pool, which was really cool. And that would have made, it wouldn't have been as good as the, it wouldn't have been as good as the, Speedway, but it still would have been cool. But they added this shitty little pool that just, honestly, it was horrible. And for $1 million, I don't think so. The Springfield Gorge. The Springfield Gorge. Really cool how they added it. $250. Bit overpriced. What did it come with? Daredevil bar, which is just a generic, like, it doesn't even look different to the normal bar. It's just a bar, different t-shirt, and a cape. And that's all it is. It annoys me. It's a bad costume. Costumes like that shouldn't bother with. They should just make a task in the normal character's quest line, which, includes that, like, different look. Convention Centre. Okay, yes, another little building they added. That's kind of cool, I guess. But, not exactly amazingly exciting. Bloodbath and Beyond. Again, I think they should have added Raphael with it. I'm really pissed off how they didn't add Raphael with Bloodbath and Beyond. I mean, he can be added with anything, but Raphael, he stands out in that building. The Stunt Bike, 35 donuts, whatever, coolish. But overall, a really, really bad level. Did not like it. Okay, Lance Murdoch is such a cool character. They should have added him with someone else. I mean, even if it was an unrelated character, it would have made much more sense to add him with something else than this Daredevil Bart costume. Daredevil Bart costume is awful. And to be honest with you, the only good thing out of this level I actually liked is the Springfield Gorge, because I thought that was the right size and everything. But honestly, the whole level for me was a real disappointment. It really annoyed me, and it's going to affect the future of the game, because now they're going to, the Springfield Speedway is going to be added with no characters now, unless they come up with some other characters to add it with. And, Raphael, I don't know what building Raphael is going to come with now, because they've pretty much added all the buildings he could come with. So yeah, anyway guys, that's it. Thanks for watching as always. Tell me what your worst levels are in the description. Thanks for watching. If you actually made it to this part of the video, I'm amazed, and now I'm sick of talking, so I'll see you next video guys. Goodbye.